Next up at UFC Vegas 106, we have Nursulton Ruziboev taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. Dustin Stoltzfus, 16-6 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5 years, alternating wins and losses, taking on Nursulton Ruziboev, 35-9 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that second round knockout win over Eric McConaughey. Nursulton's a guy that I picked in basically every single fight. I might have picked him against Buckley as well. And that would be the only one I've gotten wrong because that's the only fight he's lost so far in the UFC. He is a wrestling and grappling beast. I know you have not seen that in the UFC, but I promise you, you do 3 minutes of tape study and you will see that this guy was getting fights to the ground any means necessary. Catching kicks, shooting takedowns, all the things. On the ground, very aggressive. He was always transitioning, looking for a finish. On the feet, he's a little more patient, a little more calculated. He does wait for openings, and he will fire right hands right down the middle. He's a massive dude at this weight class, and he carries that size pretty well. Taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. Dustin Stoltzfus having a little bit of a resurgence here. He looked pretty good in his last fight. He's a busy striker. He's got very good power. He's got a BJJ black belt. He's been wrestling a little more as of late with 11 takedowns in his last 5 fights. He will hang out and strike inside the pocket. Not always the best idea because
it's not jiu-jitsu.
Oh, the black belt? It's like in some random martial art. Didn't you DM him?
It's like the Brazilian sambo,
Dance?
I think. It's basically
Didn't
like combat grappling.
I thought you DM'd him and he told you.
Let me see.
I think you did like last year. He'll hang out in the pocket and fire away. Not the best idea because he can occasionally get clipped, and he's beating the people he should beat. He's got some very quality losses, and he just beat Marc-Andre Barrios.
This was 2022.
Damn.
I said July 13th. I mean, this is the type of research we've been doing for years. We won't pick stuff.
DM'd him, right?
It's only $10 a month, right? I'm willing to put in the effort, for guys, girls. I'll do whatever it takes in the DMs to be able to get the questions answered. I said, hey man, quick question if you don't mind.
Go ahead. I didn't know you had an audio recording of it. I didn't know you had audio.
Hey, man, quick question if you don't mind. I co-host an MMA podcast, We Want Picks, and I had a question about your BJJ belt status because I've seen conflicting things. The broadcast said you were a black belt, but other things have you listed as a purple. Just wanted to make sure I have the information correct. Have a great fight week. Pulling for you, brother.
And he said black belt in luto livre, which is no gi, and a brown in BJJ gi. And I said, awesome. Appreciate it, bro. I do have a series every week where I have an underdog lock of the week, and you are the king this week. Easy work. Have a good cut. Can't wait to see the performance Saturday.
Did he win?
Yeah, he fucking won.
Who was it against?
That was the one where he was like fucking around, not wrestling, and then got a big takedown in the late third round. I was like, God, thank God, Dustin. I can't remember.
The reality is Dustin Stoltzfus is a decent fighter, better than a lot of people give him credit for, but I just think incredibly highly of Nursulton Ruziboev. The wrestling is there. You haven't seen it.
Grant.
There you go. The wrestling is there. You haven't seen it, but I promise you Nursulton can wrestle. We know for a fact he's got power in his hands, and the only fight that we've seen him lose in the UFC was when he cut to 170 on 3 weeks' notice to fight Joaquin Buckley. Outside of that, Nursulton has looked fantastic. A little bit of a slow starter. We saw that in the Eric McConaughey fight, but he's got a chin on him. He's got power. He's got grappling. He's going to be the pick. He still remains affordable, despite some other people on this card being wildly unaffordable. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, as you just heard, Dustin Stoltzfus is a former lock of the week. I like him. He's a tough son of a bitch. He definitely is he's a high-level grappler. I mean, when he gets on top of people, you saw how quickly he was able to grapple Marc-Andre Barrios. I'm pretty sure I had him in that fight because I thought he was going to be able to use his wrestling and grappling. I think I might have had him by submission, which that didn't end up happening. But you saw when he gets on top of people, he is immediately searching for submissions, all that type of stuff. And this fight, if he goes to his wrestling grappling again, which I think he might, it's going to be a downfall because as long as Ruziboev is on the feet, he can't have success on the feet. And obviously, I think Ruziboev probably would prefer to keep this standing, right? Be that sniper from the outside against a guy that has been chinned before. But Dustin typically is tough enough to, we've seen him even after he got chinned freaking bad that when he gets rocked, he can still kind of hang in there. And if he gets rocked, which I think he probably could against Ruziboev, that right hand is a fucking sniper, as much as I want to hate this guy. If he does get hurt, I think he will kind of default to the wrestling, the grappling. And Ruziboev does have more submission wins. He's very comfortable either pulling a guillotine or falling to his back into a triangle, that type of situation. So I'm playing a little bit more of a flyer. I'm picking Ruziboev as a pick, but his plus submission was like plus 800. I took a little bit of a flyer there because I think if Dustin comes in with a game plan, it's probably going to be trying to out-wrestle this guy because you don't want to stay at range. I think his best bet, even though he could lose in those situations, is to try to get on top of Ruziboev. But Ruziboev, as long as he is on the feet, he's also equally as long on his back, on the ground. Could find some sweeps. So I took a little flyer bet, but Ruziboev is still my pick anyway. But I like Dustin.
Yeah, man. I hear you. We are on opposite. Well, we're on the same side, but opposite sides of the spectrum on that side, right? I'm very confident Ruziboev. A couple comments here. Somebody talking about Nursulton didn't know what he was doing against Buckley on the ground. First of all, Buckley quite literally could be fighting for a title later this year.
He literally said that entire fight was, he's like, guys, that was the weight cut. And it seems like it could have been, but
he's
like
6'5".
Yeah, he literally was like, it was like, that was fucking rough. And I couldn't do anything. I didn't feel myself. He's like, I'm 185. I'll be good to go. And he's kind of backed that up.
Dude, he's 6'5", and if you remember, there was a quick turnaround. He fought at UFC Long Island like 3 weeks prior at 185 pounds, then did the full weight cut down to 170. It was actually, I don't know how he's ever made 170 because he's a thick 85. He's not like he's just like a skinny little beanpole. He's not jacked like Dustin, but he's a big dude, and he's thick. 185, 6'5". We're both on the Ruziboev side, $9,000 in DraftKings Fantasy. You will need a finish out of him. Again, he's a very good wrestler.
Somebody remind us, let's weigh you at the very end, just see if you made any progress.
I just drank this water.
We'll just see. What was the weight originally, guys?
265.2.
Okay, we'll see.
All right. Okay. What the fuck was I saying now? Oh, $9,000 DraftKings Fantasy. It's going to be tricky because Dustin is tough. I don't know if Nursulton's going to be able to knock him out, and I don't know if Nursulton's going to wrestle despite having phenomenal wrestling skills. So it's going to be a weird one. That's a lot of money to spend in DraftKings Fantasy. This is where I will default to the tools like the ownership projections, like the optimizer, like the Fight Simulator. WeWantPicks.com. Quick become a member at the top. Ree says, Angelo, how tall are you? I tell people 6'3", right about that. Maybe a smidge under. What's funny is
I'm honest about my height. I'm probably 5'10", flat or barefoot, 5'11", inches, 6 foot at weddings. Go watch the vlog and tell me Angelo's 6'3" when I'm walking next to him.
Well, the funniest part is
Josh
opened yesterday when we went live. He was like, what are you, 6'4"? He does overestimate my height because he is short, but you know. I'm probably
essentially the same height. You're 6'1".
We're not even close to the same height.
You're
and I've got
6'1".
video after fucking video.
Go watch the vlogs and watch me walking around. You're not 5 inches. You're telling me you're 5 inches taller than me. You're telling me that you're as tall to me as Bo is to you. No.
Bo's a freak.
But that's what you're trying to tell me by saying.
No, I'm probably a good 4 inches taller than you. This is 4 inches. I'm this much taller than you.
That's got to be 7, 8 inches. Are you joking me? That was almost 9 inches from what I saw right there. Are you kidding me?
Tiff will agree with you.